Who doesn't like getting a little dirty? And I do mean it the way you're thinking. But what about gooey? Slime's been with us since the 70s, and its journey through pop culture is well defined. Since its inception, this oozing green stuff has maintained a shelf life for media and merchandise that would give the blob a run for its money. From playset protagonist to network mascot, Slime through time on this Pop Connection.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the show. I'm Victor, your host, and this is PopCon, a salute to all pop culture, but mostly the 80s. If you're new here, this is where we make a pop connection with trends or have pop conversations with people that in some way have made the pop culture zeitgeist. Please subscribe so you know when my next show premieres, and share my content while I fluff the masses. Today's show is a little sticky. How did something so gross become so well-known and beloved? Well, let's face it, gross often equals laughs, and more often, cash. In the case of slime, it rose from the depths of nowhere and seems to have no expiration date. While other fads and trends either fade away or have peaks and valleys, slime just seems to always rise to the top. A little shout out to a new viewer and subscriber, Xander. Thanks, buddy. I know you're going to love this one. Come with me now and make a pop connection with Slime Through Time. I'm sure slime wasn't invented in the 70s, but that is when it made its first marketing splash. Or splat is more likely. With Mattel. Sold in a little trash can and made from guar gum, not to be chewed, the icky little delight was coveted by every child. In 1976, the first toy of note, a game with the slime gimmick, was released, the Monster Slime Game.
This is a slime monster. The slime runs out of his mouth. This is the Slime Monster Game, where you slime the other players with the monster.
It's my turn.
And sometimes
I got you.
they slime you. The winner
Look out.
gets the monster. The loser has to clean up.
Oh, yuck.
The Slime Monster Game comes complete with slime compound, new from Mattel.
But here is where it gets a little interesting. From modest toy shelf to pop culture staple started in Canada. A local Canadian program designed with the US audiences in mind and made for young adults began its broadcast life in the form of a variety show, often with very strong messages that you probably can't do on television nowadays. Is that enough of a hint? Starting in 1979, the program, You Can't Do That on Television, debuted locally in Canada. It was a successful sketch variety show that included up-to-date roving reporter-type bits, catching up with kids in the era and their vices. Shows would revolve around a central topic, topics that range from sexual equality and peer pressure to strike first and crime and vandalism. Tough topics indeed for a show that was created as a Saturday morning alternative to educational programming. What started as one bit early in the show, where leftovers from the studio cafeteria were to be poured onto an unsuspecting performer, but that show was delayed a week, and the spoiled turned green food product left sitting in the rafters was spilled on the actor anyway when shooting resumed. The response was incredible. The reaction caught the eye of US network Nickelodeon, and they wanted in. During the second season of You Can't Do That on Television, a move to 30 minutes and the cutting of any Canadian-based content is when Nickelodeon jumped on in. And the US broadcaster began showing episodes in 1982, and production continued in Canada while US viewership soared. In Canada, the show did not take off nationally until years after Nickelodeon made You Can't Do That on Television a household name, resulting in it being the highest-rated show in 1983 on Nick. Not in any small part by the popularity of, you guessed it, slime. Nickelodeon began a slime-in contest where a winner was flown to the set in Canada just to be covered by the gooey substance, which was no longer rancid old cafeteria food, thank God. By this time, the phrase, being slimed, was coined, and the prank was used, usually after someone said the keywords, I don't know, in every episode from 1982 through 1990.
I'm running away, because my folks don't understand YouTube.
Have they tried PopCon?
I don't know. Would I like it?
Sure. Your parents are from the 80s, aren't they?
Shipwreck!
Isn't it better to watch popcorn together than run away from your problems?
I could try to get them to watch with me.
Yeah, try watching together. Remember, not only watch.
Subscribe. Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle. Nickelodeon clamored for more slime. They just couldn't get enough and demanded more slime and added it to their branding overall and turning the goop into a symbol of who they were, a mascot of sorts. And since this mascot couldn't walk around, it just kept dropping, spraying, shooting, and oozing right onto the set of Double Dare, which, naming it GAC, they used the substance in their popular physical challenges. And guess who took the reins to market and sell the product? None other than Mattel. Although Nickelodeon made slime what it is today, Mattel never stopped selling it. But the same year Double Dare featured GAC in their game show, 1986, they not only relabeled their slime as Nickelodeon GAC for marketing, they incorporated it into their best-selling brand at the time, after Barbie, of course, Masters of the Universe. Creating a simple but ingenious playset, the Horde Slime Pit featured the slime gimmick with the most popular musclehead in the universe.
Now, Hordak reveals the most gruesome trap ever. The Horde Slime Pit.
The what?
The Slime Pit.
Now, fight for your mind, please. Not the slime. Yes, my slime. Our new. I've been slime. No one escapes the evil Horde Slime Pit.
The evil Horde Slime Pit, new from the Masters of the Universe. You put it together. Action figures each sold separately from Mattel.
The playset was a mess, but this oozing, non-toxic, harmless substance was adored by kids who loved making zombies of He-Man and his friends. 1986 was an ooey-gooey good time for Mattel. They had green slime shampoo, GAC, the Slime Pit, and now, the Real Ghostbusters. Riding on the success of the 1984 hit movie, the Real Ghostbusters Toyland ran from 86 to 1991 and re-envisioned slime as the spectral scat of every otherworldly dweller found in Tobin's Spirit Guide, in the form of ectoplasm. In multiple colors, this key element of the hit toy line was featured with various ghost action figures that were released. Mattel wasn't the only one getting slimed, but probably most successful. The ill-fated Mangalores debuted in 1984 and included Mangalore Mountain. This small playset raised the ante on green slime with Mangalava. The orange ooze from the fiery depths was a good idea, but for a toy line that was a total marketing nightmare due to the outright promises the toy line could not keep, look it up. The slime just plopped down the drain or dried up in the unsold boxes. Playmates, on the other hand, ushered slime into the 1990s. When Mattel had fewer IPs to saddle with slime, the incredibly successful Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would use slime in their storytelling. But as mutagen, the chemical substance from Dimension X, it was the ooze that turned these half-shells into heroes. Mattel has never given up on slime. In 2001, a very familiar design of Mattel's was rebranded for a very popular franchise with the Harry Potter Slime Chamber. Then in 2003, the Mike Young Masters of the Universe line released a completely redesigned slime pit complete with the substance. They actually continue selling Nickelodeon slime, not called GAC, but the pure stuff. And today, after nearly 40 years after staking its claim, Nickelodeon does not foresee giving up its forever symbol of what helped identify their brand. Still dousing the host of the Kids' Choice Awards at the end of the show, sure. But even here in 2021, doing something no one thought we would see. NFL on Nickelodeon included the Slime Zone during the Chicago-New Orleans game. Slime will not let up and continues its slow-rolling sustainability across various platforms and new ones. From toy franchises to football, Slime has stood the test of time. Heck, I found it in the 7-Eleven today, just called Silly Slime. And this brand shows no sign of weakening. The success of such a bizarre element of the toy world becoming a network brand earns respect. But its undying and unstoppable properties makes me wonder if I should be a little nervous.
It's a world without slime.
Could you imagine? It just wouldn't be the same. Every kid and kid at heart who sees that little container bursting with that goo, they just can't resist. It's like a coming of age, a rite of passage, a want to then feel that sticky substance slip through you. We're talking about slime here, folks. Did you play with slime? Did you share that really weird memory of You Can't Do That on Television that I had, where there was just something off about the characters on screen that I watched just to find out they were Canadian? Let me know in the comments and help me entertain you. Like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Thanks for sticking with me to the end as we really get this show rolling. Until next time.